Hi, welcome back to Waxing On Wednesday, Classic Rock. Last week, I was looking at a compilation album, and I mentioned one of these singers on the album and I realized I hadn't featured her, but she was really one of my favorites at the time. And the singer was Macy Gray. And I remember I mentioned to you that I'd first seen her on Rosie O'Donnell's talk show when she had one. Oh gosh, this was quite a few years ago now, well before the Millennium. And she really exposed us to a lot of great musicians. And Macy Gray was one that I went right out and bought the album after I'd seen her on the show. I was really taken. The album I have is On How Life Is. I'm just going to pull out the jacket. It's actually a CD. Macy Gray on How Life Is. Her debut. And again, pretty strong debut, so a lot of albums. International bestseller, both sides of the ocean. She really brought something new. There was a certain grittiness to it. There was a certain energy, and she co-wrote the songs that are on the album. Now, it's labeled here, introducing Macy Gray, debut album On How Life Is, Soul for the New Millennium. Now, the album, I'm just going to take a quick look here. Well, I can't read that because it's so darn small, but trying to see what year it came out in. Obviously, you're cresting into the new millennium, but big song on here. We looked at it. It was I Try. They'd released a previous song, didn't do quite so well. When I Try came out, that's when the album took off. And again, it was a whole different take. She had a great sound. It was great writing, great musicians on here. I'll give you an idea of the songs we had in case some of them do sound familiar. Why Didn't You Call Me? Do Something. Caligula. Well, there's a switch up, eh? I Try. Sexomatic Venus Freak. I Can't Wait to Meet You. Still. I've Committed Murder. Moment to Myself. And The Letter. All original tunes. Debut album, and really did well. Now, like some other debut albums, it kind of overshadowed what came next. Her second album didn't quite hit the mark. Didn't quite sell as well, didn't quite make the impact that this one did. And when I listened to it, I just thought it sounded a little slicker. It didn't quite have the grit or the edge that this album had. She still put out a lot of albums. I don't think she's ever recaptured the success she had with this one. Certainly, maybe because it was a whole new venture. But again, once she got into the second album, she kind of changed things a bit, and it wasn't quite the same. She's still out there performing? Sure she is. A couple of years ago, she was just at the Jazz Ottawa International Festival. I see she's still got shows coming up online. I couldn't find a website for her. I could only find a Facebook page to list it. Certainly copies available of her music on streaming networks, a great place to find it. But if you haven't heard her before, I encourage you to check this one out, On How Life Is. A great album, great performer. Not to say what she's doing now isn't good, but I never found it captured the edge and the excitement and the grittiness that I had with this album, which really appealed to me. So well worth taking a look at. Macy Gray, great artist. Check her out. That's it for Wednesday. We'll see you on Friday, back with one more incidents of kind of classic rock, but in the very early stages. An artist that became a huge superstar doing some music that's quite unlike her style. Check us out Friday to find out what I'm talking about here. Till then, everybody, take care. Stay safe. Have a great day. Talk to you later.